In the time since Marshawn Lynch was pulled over for DUI, Brock, we've thrown out a couple of potential names of guys that could come in and bolster that running back room. Yeah, Cedric Benson, maybe Ryan Grant, guys that have been injured, maybe even somebody retired like a Ricky Williams. But one name surfaced over the weekend that just kind of intrigued me, and that's LeGarrette Blount. Apparently falling out of favor in Tampa Bay, where Greg Schiano's kind of a hardline guy, and he is by no means a hardline type of a player. As hard as he runs, that's apparently how hard he sleeps. If you read the ProFootballTalk.com report, they had to hire a service to come every day, wake him up, and drive him to practice just to make sure he was there. And then once he got there, he would sleep during many of the meetings. That being said, he runs dudes over. He runs about as similarly and as hard as Marshawn Lynch as you're going to find in the NFL. Maybe he's worth taking a chance on.
I think two things. Okay, number one, you drafted a running back in the 4th round that you really like. You spent a 4th round pick for a kid, and as I understand it, there were 2 backs that they felt very comfortable with, a kid out of Baylor as well, and Turbin. So they get one of the kids they want. Number 2, this conversation really depends on what we think will happen with Marshawn Lynch. If we're sitting here today, I don't know how you feel, but I'm sitting here today not thinking this is going to be a 5 or 6 game suspension. Maybe that's just, I don't know, idiotic of me to believe that, or overly optimistic. But I don't think I see a significant punishment suspension coming for Marshawn. But if I did, if we saw a 5, 6, 8 game suspension coming his way, then it's a very different conversation.
Well, it is. Look, I agree with you. I don't think there's going to be a hefty suspension coming Marshawn Lynch's way. Maybe a game or 2, 3 at the most, and yeah, probably a heavy fine that goes with this. But look, I'm just intrigued by LeGarrette Blount. I understand there's major question marks about
LeGarrette Blount.
I just like the way he runs. I like the way he runs dudes over. Do you remember that game against Green Bay last year? He had the run of the year. I mean, he has the kind of talent that you can't teach with the size and speed combination, the ability to be shifty and still knock dudes over when he's running down the field. I'm not saying you pull the trigger, and certainly not for anything of value, nothing more than a 7th round pick. But am I intrigued by LeGarrette Blount? How could you not be?
And do we also know that this GM and John Schneider knows the GM in Tampa Bay? That's why they got the Kellen Winslow deal done. Is there a comfort level there? Is an opportunity there if Marshawn is suspended significantly and they're finding this out behind the scenes? Well, we know this. This group turns over every stone to find talent.